Welcome to Toronto Paramedic Services, the largest municipally based system in Canada. Toronto is the largest city in Canada with a daytime population of over 3.7 million and a residential population of over 2.6 million. It is one of the most multicultural cities in the world in diversity of race, religion, and lifestyle, spoken in over 180 different languages and dialects. We respond to over 360,000 calls per year. Our patients are at the heart of our service, and we treat them with care and compassion. Our staff consisting of paramedics, central ambulance communication staff, support staff, and management. With over 230 response vehicles based at 45 ambulance stations divided into 4 sections across the city. Supported by a strong senior management team, we take great pride in the caliber of our paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, and support staff who serve the residents of Toronto on a daily basis. As our city continues to expand, we have embarked on the development of one of our first multifunction stations, which will see the deployment of over 25 ambulances from one location. This new development will also house our operational support functions such as equipment services, stores, and integrated staff resources. Our training and education programs are second to none. We have an excellent working relationship with our provincial-based hospital partner, Sunnybrook, for pre-hospital care. The Toronto Paramedic Services education team, with the assistance and oversight of the province and base hospital, have developed, implemented, and run a fully accredited advanced care paramedic program, and we continue to run provincially recognized training programs. In addition, Toronto Paramedic Services continues to run a primary care training program in conjunction with the federal government and Toronto Employment and Social Services. The first graduating class completed their intensive course in 2012, and Toronto Paramedic Services is the only service in the province with a full complement of accredited pre-hospital emergency care training programs. An important role in emergency medicine is the safe response and transport of patients to hospital. Toronto Paramedic Services runs a driver training program ensuring our medics' readiness to respond safely in the operation of our large fleet of state-of-the-art ambulances and response vehicles. We also take pride in the vehicles that respond to emergency calls, from our frontline ambulances to our MPUs, CCTU, commander vehicles, ERVs, and of course our bike unit medics, water rescue, and golf cart response. Toronto Paramedic Services communication staff are trained in an intensive 6-week program which was established as a Centre of Excellence in 2008 by the International Academies of Emergency Dispatchers. Our communication center is state-of-the-art, incorporating unique and innovative systems to dispatch our paramedics in the most efficient and expedient way. Technical upgrades, including automated radio systems and the latest dispatch forecasting techniques, have been installed in the center over the last 5 years. Our model of the Medical Priority Dispatch software has now been upgraded to version 13, one of the first centers worldwide to do so. Our responsibility to the community and those we serve remains steadfast, with our focus on excellence in customer service and a 24/7 feedback process through our professional standards unit. Supporting our community at Toronto Paramedic Services goes further than simply answering 911 emergency calls. Our community-based program supports independent living and adds a measure of paramedic outreach to our vulnerable communities. Some of the outstanding programs that have been established are our primary care paramedic training program. This program allows the City of Toronto to offer priority neighborhood community residents the opportunity to be trained by Toronto Paramedic Service educators. Our Independence at Home initiative allows our paramedics to establish a relationship with our at-risk community residents. These relationships establishes a link with the community through in-home visits and develops a portal of communication that facilitates direct contact with the Community Care Access Center and Family Health Team if the resident needs to be taken to the hospital. It also allows for an appropriate follow-up that would see patients receiving care that they need and accelerating the return to independent yet supportive living. Our Community Referral by EMS, or our CREMS program, was the first established link with at-risk patients and has now become a model program throughout the province of Ontario. CREMS is at the leading edge of social support for our more vulnerable population by identifying the support and care that is required to ensure that quality of life is maintained while avoiding unnecessary hospitalization. The Safe City program, which encompasses our first aid, CPR, and AED training division, provides oversight to more than 1,500 AEDs province-wide. This not only provides the general public with the skill and knowledge to act as first responders, but it also supports the efforts of our paramedics in making a difference in the community. Our response to specialized needs within the community is demonstrated with our ability to provide unique training to identified paramedics within Toronto Paramedic Services responding to some very difficult calls. CBRNE paramedics ready to respond to issues involving chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive emergencies. ETF Emergency Task Force paramedics add a supportive measure to Toronto Police Services by attending crisis situations with rapid response to all potentially hazardous calls. HUSAR Heavy Urban Search and Rescue. Paramedics work with our partners in fire and police to address medical needs during disasters that require this kind of unique support. TTC Medical Response allows direct access to our community in the subway system with a rapid response by Toronto Paramedic Services and ongoing communications with our dispatch center. The Marine Paramedic Program sees our paramedics partnering with Toronto Police and rapid response to emergencies on Lake Ontario and surrounding waterways, providing paramedic care offshore. Adding to the specialized field of paramedicine is the vast array of large-scale events that Toronto Paramedic Services supports, with medical coverage such as the 2016 Pan Am Games, Canadian National Exhibition, Pride Parades, Santa Claus Parade, where we are not only cover the event, but we are the designated drivers for all the floats, the annual Caribbean Carnival and St. Patrick's Day parades. Our support staff is the core of our ability to respond to the public. Without their support and dedication, we would not be the world-class service we are today. Toronto Paramedic Services is more than just an emergency service. We are a community for the community. At the core of our service are dedicated paramedics, communication staff, and operational support staff. Our senior management team, led by Chief Gord McEachern, supports the exceptional talent and skill that makes our service a world-class organization. We know that in your review of our service, you will see the high level of service that each and every staff member displays, including the level of care and concern that each paramedic delivers to each and every patient. You will hear the supportive voice and direction that each dispatcher conveys when dealing with a 911 caller, and the leadership supporting guidance that each management leader demonstrates, and the dedication of our outstanding staff that make their mission to ensure that they support the efforts of every member of Toronto Paramedic Services team to respond to the needs of our city. If there is one binding thread that our team shares, it's patient, purpose, and passion.